There's a lot of demands on me right now as a person, as a mom, as a nurse. It's very easy to lose yourself. It's very easy to lose yourself. I don't beat myself up about it anymore. You can't. It happens too often. You would be an emotional mess if you allowed it to get to you that way all the time, because it's not something that I did and it's not something that she did. It's something that EB did. EB is the cause here. EB is the evil. EB is the issue. I think when I hear that cry, I think I hate EB, because that's what did it to Mackenzie. I don't think there was any sort of conscious thought about what EB was or what her life would be. I mean, the minute she was born, the entire operating room goes, "Whoa!" And that was just, I think I went on autopilot. I mean, she was gone within 5 minutes. We saw her. We weren't able to hold her. We weren't really able to touch her. She was missing the skin on her hands and her feet. She was
You don't take those pictures when,
No
the
pictures.
baby's first born. You take that picture, they kind of whisked her away. They didn't really know what was wrong with her.
The disease is like a spectrum, and it presents differently in every child, and then how it presents in that child presents differently in every family.
She's missing a protein. The protein's called collagen 7, and that is basically what anchors the top layer of skin to the bottom layer of skin. So her top layer of skin is just kind of floating. So any little friction, any little trauma, any little bump, she moves the wrong way, it has the potential, for the skin to tear, to blister.
I'm pretty good with the needle at this point in time to lance blisters, but going into her mouth with a needle to lance a blister on her tongue or to lance a blister on her gum, she gets them on her lips. The first probably 25 times I did it, I cried as I lanced her blisters in her mouth.
But I think specifically when you're talking about EB and what EB is, I think you have to focus a little bit more on how it impacts not only her physically, but how it impacts the family and everyone around her.
Literally to leave the house with her, even to go to a doctor's appointment. It's like an hour and 20 minutes just to get ready to leave the house, to make sure that you have her emergency go kit, because you have to have your diapers, your bottles, all the things you would have for a regular baby, and then extra stuff so that she can be safe.
Being a parent of a child with EB, it's kind of like, yes, we're nurses, yes, we're parents, but we're also detectives in a way. I kind of feel that there's a lot of times where, we're searching for the right method. We're searching for the solution to a problem. We hit a lot of dead ends, and it's just because you hit a dead end doesn't mean you stop going. You turn around and you find another path.
But then beyond that, everybody chooses to deal with the bandaging and the blistering, the feeding. Everybody does something different. If you reach out to another family for help, they'll say, well, this is the way we do it. But there's no guarantee it'll work for you.
Every day I wake up and I say to myself, today, let's try not to be fearful that we're going to cause a blister. I don't want to live my life in fear. But it's hard through some of the experiences that we've had not to think that every time I pick her up that I'm going to cause a blister or I'm going to hurt her in some ways. I can't stop thinking, from the day where Liz and I, were putting her shirt on and she moved and the skin just peeled right off her nose, her cheek, and you feel so helpless. That's the hard part. That's the emotional part. Yes, you want to take chances. Yes, you want to take risks. You want to just be able to pick her up, throw her up in the air, make her laugh, as you experience. But you can't.
Oh, I cry over a picture on Facebook every day. I'm sure every day there's always one photo of a girl in a frilly little dress with the bow in her hair. It just stupid, regular, everyday things that other kids are able to do and she can't. That we can't do with her.
Since she's been born, it is on my mind every second of the day. You may outlive your daughter, which isn't supposed to happen. How can you not be affected by that?
This to me is a new thing. Always been a very private person. So to be embracing social media like we have for Mackenzie, I swear I would never have a Facebook page, and now we have one for Mackenzie and all these other social media things. And I think it's a very fine line to walk. I mean, there have been times where, we've been criticized for certain things. Maybe, how Mackenzie was held in a picture, things like that. The first time I took her to the supermarket, I was told that I was going to kill my baby because I didn't have her buckled into her seatbelt correctly. We live in a different world, and people are very vocal in their beliefs about what you should and shouldn't do with your child, and I find that it's even more so with Mackenzie.
So the bandages sometimes caused more harm than good, just because they would come off, she'd move inside, there would be increased friction, and it was just a mess. It was just this ongoing thing where every time we went to the hospital or we took those bandages down, you kind of almost closed your eyes because you didn't want to see what was going to be underneath them. So we started putting the socks on, and the socks worked as a great tool to keep the bandages on. They didn't move as much. She started to heal. What I decided to do was, let's embrace it. Let's go for it. And so Mackenzie is not alone and the only person in our family wearing socks. Let's wear socks ourselves. And that started spreading from us, our immediate family, Liz and I and Crosby, to our aunts and uncles, to our friends, to the community. And one day I was on a train. I called up Mike Fiore and I said to him, you know what? I think I got something here. Basically, he took my seed and was able to make it into a beautiful tree, and everyone around started knowing about Rock the Socks.
So everybody rock your socks. Now everybody rock your socks. Now everybody rock your socks. Rock your socks. Rock your socks.
And it started to become something where people wanted to be a part of. I want to spread awareness. I want to have an impact. I want people to know more about this disease. I want them to know about our Rock the Socks campaign. We do want to focus on the positive. We want to focus on her smile. We want to focus on the good days. We're blessed to have Mackenzie. We don't want it to impact her in any way. We want her to be able to say, I can do this. I will do this.
I love her very much. She's an amazing addition who has brought us so much joy, and I think she's going to make an impact in her life. I think that Mackenzie needs to know that Evie does not define her. She defines Evie.
Just because you have a nightmare doesn't mean you stop dreaming.